Alright, boys. Another day, another content from AniNews. Let's go, man. Let's see what AniNews has to say, man. You know, very interested to see what AniNews has to say. Also, Ekin, the video that we're gonna be watching after this, because very emotional episode. I wonder there's like some content, some other information that we can get more on. Everything about that family, man. Yo, somebody get that family a therapy session, man. Today we got the end to WILHELM'S story with THERESIA. Let's get into it, man.
In a way, this sword fight between Sword Saint and Sword Demon was very similar to what it was like to love each other.
Yeah?
Yes, the crossing of their blades was an attempt to steal each other's lives, but the way each party poured everything into their swings mirrored that same single-minded focus they once had when they pursued each other.
Yeah.
There were no distractions or anything else in mind, just the target in front of them and the courtship of their swords. Troubled as it may be, the love that existed between them before was one forged in that very same intensity. So, as much as Wilhelm disliked the idea of his wife's corpse being used as a tool, this impossible reunion had him wishing their battle would never end. Still, every ounce of focus was required to maintain it, since one misstep would mean his death. Any distraction would prove to be fatal here.
Yeah, we definitely saw a damn distraction that was fatal, bro. Heinkel, bro. Heinkel. Dad! Yo, what? Oh, GG's. Like, what the fuck?
It's for that reason every attack needed to be taken with the utmost caution, since not only did each carry the unhealable blessing of the death god, every single one was capable of putting an end to him. That was what made THERESIA the strongest. She didn't need to kill the opponent to win the fight, she simply needed to land a couple hits, then her blessing would do the rest. Now, for Wilhelm, remaining focused was the toughest challenge about this, since a myriad of emotions swirled within him. As heart-wrenching as it was to see his wife again, more than anything he was angry at the villain who made her this way.
Yikes,
His
man.
blood boiled at the thought of what was done to her.
W sound effects? Thank you, man. Look, bro, Pandora, bro. I'm not even gonna get too much into her, bro, because, like, the schizo theories are just gonna go, like, fucking ballistic, man. Bro, I want more Pandora. I need more. Like, she pulled up, bro, she got, like, 20 seconds. Bro, was it even 20 seconds of screen time, man? She pulled up, kills THERESIA. That's it. Man, I want more, bro. Fuck it.
The fight had no room for such idle distractions, though, so what went to save him from something so unnecessary was...
Yeah, she could be the one with the forbidden art, huh? Because, like, we're thinking it's, like, we know the whole Sphinx thing, right? The whole story of the Sphinx. And, like, you know, how the forbidden art stuff, it could have just been, like, either her or someone else, but, like, or either Capella, right? It could have just been Capella. She just gave THERESIA and Kurgan to, yeah. It could have been Capella. It could have been Capella. Like, that's the only thing that could really make sense, that it was Capella, but, like, it's just, like, weird, though. I don't know. So what? Maybe she killed THERESIA and then literally, like, just, like, went to Capella and she was like, hey, Capella, you can just use her, bro. But, like, why? Like, what does Pandora want, though? Do we even fucking know what Pandora wants? What the fuck is her goal? Like, what does she want, man? What is the end goal, bro? That's my thing. Like, yeah, the seal, yeah, that's it, though. The door. But, like, everything that she's doing around that, though. Like, how does everything she's doing lead to opening that fucking door, man? You know what I mean? I don't know, man. Like, she's just such a fucking mystery, bro. Yeah, what's inside the seal? Why is she doing, what's inside the seal? Why is she doing everything for the seal? Like, what are the events that she's doing, or, like, the situation she's getting into just to, like, get to the seal? Like, what is her, like, end goal? What are her goals while trying to get to the seal? You know what I mean? Like, I can't.
The fight had no room for such idle distractions, though, so what went to save him from something so unnecessary was the next clash of swords reminding him of some words THERESIA once said. It was a simple bit of guidance reminding him to always stay cool. This refocused Wilhelm's attention once again, allowing him to continue their dance onward into the night.
Okay.
Now, because Wilhelm knew Garfield had completed the mission, he was now allowed to challenge his limits once again. Just like how he did to become the sword demon before, once more would Wilhelm have to achieve a level of swordsmanship that surpassed hers.
Yeah.
Last time he had done so by shedding everything he knew and becoming a sword himself, but now Theresia was the person whose moves he recognized the best. The way she carried herself now was the same swordsmanship of the woman he loved all those years ago. So every arc she chose and every point she aimed for, Wilhelm knew just like the back of his hand. Not once did he look away from the saint in front of him, so for a moment when the two clashed swords again, Wilhelm thought he saw something unthinkable. He felt he may have witnessed a small trace of emotion from her.
Wow.
This implied Theresia could see him too, but really it was nothing more than Wilhelm's imagination showing him what he wanted to see.
Nothing more than just his imagination showing him what he wanted to see. That is so fucking sad, bro. That is actually so sad. Yeah, Will Schizo. God damn, bro. His imagination. God damn, bro. His imagination doing that shit to him, man. Fuck. God damn.
All her expressions, from her smile to her tears, now overlapped the emotionless face Wilhelm refused to look away from.
Fuck.
They were heavy feelings he had no choice but to cast aside here. It was once he did that Wilhelm found himself capable of finishing the fight, an outcome which should have happened if not for the arrival of Heinkel. Had this been a complete stranger, then the unshakable focus of the sword demon would have carried him forward.
Yeah.
It's because this wasn't and this was his only son that Wilhelm lost focus and hesitated.
Yep, literally instantly lost focus and fucking hesitated. God damn it, Heinkel. I don't know about y'all. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know about y'all, man. I don't know about y'all. Me personally, if I pull up and I see Will, right? I guess like in this case, Heinkel's POV, right? If I'm me, bro, I'm not going, yo, dad. Yo, like in the middle of a fight, like very like crazy fight. Like I don't care how crazy this shit looks. Like Theresia's there, like what the fuck is happening? I'm not just gonna like try like interrupt it and be like, yo, what are you doing over there, man? Like the whole bro, he's gonna get cooked. He's focused, man. Like what the fuck, Heinkel? Like I don't know. That's just me though, right? Maybe Heinkel just had a different way of like, you know. It's probably like a different situation, right? I mean, seeing Theresia and Will fighting, like I guess it's a big shock, right? Like, what the fuck? Like, why? How? What is happening? But like, damn, bro.
Because this wasn't and this was his only son that Wilhelm lost focus and hesitated. He couldn't follow through in killing the mother of his son while that son was watching. Had he stayed resolute in loving Theresia alone, though, then this wouldn't have happened and the fight would be over.
Yeah.
It's because he couldn't that all his focus was gone now. The previous sword demon who was fighting with a powerful intensity to save his wife was now replaced by a lone, aged swordsman incapable of returning to the state he was in prior. That's why what happened next was only natural, since, like I said in the beginning, distraction would prove fatal. It created an opening for Theresia to counter with an attack of pure efficiency.
God, it was so bad.
She knew exactly where it was she was aiming for,
Jesus
and
Christ.
as a result stole the function of Wilhelm's leg without...
That pose, man. I'm sorry. Well, yeah, interesting freeze frame here.
And as a result stole the function of Wilhelm's leg without damaging anything else. It was a clean thrust that cut the muscles and nerves and nothing else. Wilhelm could...
Well, it looked like he's getting back shots. I'm sorry. That frame was crazy. Yo, man, bro, that fucking, bro, like, I don't know, man. You know, interesting.
Wilhelm's leg without damaging anything else. It was a clean thrust that cut the muscles and nerves and nothing else. Wilhelm could only shudder at such a display of expertise, but whether out of frustration, aspiration, yearning, or love, that was something not even Wilhelm knew. What he did know, though, was that...
Sorry, I'm trying to concentrate, my bad. I'm locked in, man. Oh my god, bro.
Frustration, aspiration, yearning, or love, that was something not even Wilhelm knew. What he did know, though, was that the fight was over and he was defeated. You see, with the blessing of the Grim Reaper preventing this hole in his leg from being healed, Wilhelm knew it was only a matter of time before he would bleed out and die.
Yeah, pretty much.
Such a revelation was completely mortifying, since while the pain was one thing, the inability to do anything was even worse.
The pain, right? The pain is one thing. He's literally just... Bro, he was like, if Reinhardt didn't pull up there, he would have literally just seen Theresia kill Heinkel just like that, bro. Bro, as soon as Heinkel pulled out the sword, bro. As soon as he pulled out the sword, Theresia was like, nah. Nah. That was the fastest, like... Bro, the whole sword was gone instantly, man. Bro, if Reinhardt wasn't there, bro, you imagine Reinhardt wasn't there? And we just witnessed Theresia just kill Heinkel in front of Will. They would have both died if Reinhardt pulled up, and look at the reactions Reinhardt gets from them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. They would have both died. That's the fucked up thing.
Despair was the only feeling that could describe his absolute powerlessness. Still, Wilhelm knew he couldn't die while leaving Theresia like this, so while he was well aware of the fate slowly creeping up on him, he had also resolved to bring Theresia down along with him.
Bruh.
It didn't matter if he lost his head in the process. Wilhelm knew his next attack would strike Theresia down for sure.
Bro's like, even if it fucking kills me, I'm gonna get the job done. Yo, Will, bro.
This, however, was an attack that would never come, since just like Wilhelm, Theresia knew he would die as well.
Yeah.
And for a swordsman as cold and calculated as her, it was simply instinctual to leave the prey she knew was going to die anyway. So, if you were wondering why she immediately switched focus to Heinkel, it was simply because Wilhelm had lost already.
Yep, it was already GG's. There's no point to go for Will, right? From her, you know, she's like, hey, Will is already down. Now I just go for Heinkel, bro.
Now she was moving on to the next target.
Yeah.
The blade Heinkel lost was the same one passed on to him by Wilhelm, but that would prove nothing in the way of the Sword Saint.
Man.
No, the only thing that would was the hero Reinhardt. In his hands was the ultimate blade, the Dragon Sword Reed, a weapon shrouded in mystery passed down through the generations of the Estrella family. It's not known how the first Sword Saint obtained it, but it was every Sword Saint after that would wield it.
See what I mean, ReZero? You mystery motherfuckers. It's not known. It's not known how, huh?
The Dragon Sword Reed, a weapon shrouded in mystery passed down through the generations of the Estrella family. It's not known how the first Sword Saint obtained it.
It's not known how the first Sword Saint obtained it. See what I mean?
But it was every Sword Saint after that would wield it. It was a legendary blade we know never unveiled itself unless the opponent was deemed worthy. So, for an object that's been said to have slain witches, dragons, and demon gods, only one thing was absolutely certain about it. Once the dragon sword was drawn, never had it been sheathed without first cutting something.
Dude, the fucking, bro, the entire fucking, bro, he like pulled it out and everything was shaking, dude. It was, dude, that was fucking crazy. I'm not gonna lie. Dude, he finally pulled out the fucking sword, man.
So, while many past Sword Saints had gone their entire life without seeing the Dragon Sword, here Reinhardt would finally get his chance to.
Wow.
This would also be the first time Wilhelm could witness Reinhardt on the battlefield, since after leaving for revenge over 15 years ago, the discord that lingered between both them and Heinkel never resolved itself. Wilhelm never returned to face his family properly since, so not only was he absent for his son's eventual corruption, he also never got to see Reinhardt grow into the knight he was today. It's for that reason his presence completely overwhelmed him here, showing exactly what it meant to be the Sword Saint. It was a nostalgic feeling that reminded him of what it was like when he first met Theresia.
Yeah?
Back then, he had witnessed the immense distance between himself and the person recognized as the pinnacle of the sword, and once again, that was the feeling he was experiencing here. The only difference between then and now, though, was that enough training had allowed him to reach the summit where Theresia was at, while no amount of training would bridge the gap between him and Reinhardt.
Oh, that's the fucking difference. That's the fucking difference, dude. He was able to train, right? He was able to train enough to obviously beat Theresia, get to Theresia's level, right? Reinhardt, though. No amount of fucking training, bruh. There is no amount of training that will get you to Reinhardt's level, y'all. This guy is just, like, actually so fucking broken, man. Like, it's not even fair.
The only difference between then and now, though, was that enough training had allowed him to reach the summit where Theresia was at, while no amount of training would bridge the gap between him and Reinhardt.
Crazy.
Wilhelm didn't even have to see the way Reinhardt fought. He just knew the worlds they were in were completely different.
He didn't even have to see him fight. He was just like, yo, Reinhardt's just built different.
Whatever summit Reinhardt stood atop of, Wilhelm knew it wasn't even in the realm of achievable.
Bruh.
So, with the ensuing face-off being something neither Wilhelm nor Heinkel could accept, Wilhelm could only shout in desperation while Heinkel descended into madness out of the sheer absurdity of what was unfolding in front of him. He simply couldn't believe his son was facing off against his mother in order to protect him.
Dude. This is so fucked up. Like, this entire situation was fucked up, man. Fucking family reunion in the worst way possible? What kind of family reunion is this?
His mind couldn't comprehend what he was seeing. This made it clear Heinkel couldn't be relied on to do anything, so Wilhelm really did only have one option here. He could only beg and hope someone would listen. For Reinhardt, this was simply a job that needed to be done, as that was one of the many responsibilities of the Sword Saint. In fact, the Dragon Sword itself seemed delighted at the opportunity of being drawn for once, even more so since it was facing off against one who previously wielded it. Nothing else needed to be said after, so all that was left was the clash which would end things. Theresia would engage with the most perfect strike Wilhelm had ever seen her do, likely because the strength of Reinhardt drew out the latent strength still lurking inside her.
Wow.
This was an accomplishment Wilhelm could only be jealous of, since with every fiber of his being, he wished it was him drawing that out of Theresia. What happened next was an unforgivable series of events because, for the first time in his life, Wilhelm would prioritize his emotions on the sacred ground of the battlefield. He would express his desire for Theresia to live, adding distraction to a duel where such a thing could prove fatal. This was an action that defiled everything a swordsman stood for, tarnishing the pride he valued so deeply.
Yeah, bro. Bro, we saw how emotional he was, bro. But it's like, can we really blame him? Like, can we really fucking blame him? Like, your wife is there, bro. You know she's about to die, right? Even though, like, technically you could say, like, obviously, like, you know, it's not actually her, right? But it's like, yes, it's her, but, like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, she's under the, like, the forbidden art, right? Like, it pretty much is a job that needs to be done. Like, you have to kill her there. And it's like, but still, it's her. You see her there, it's like, that fucks you up, bro. Like, I can't really blame him for acting the way he did. First time that he ever pretty much prioritized his emotions on the battlefield, I think AniNews said there, right? Which, yeah, it makes sense why. Theresia's everything, man. Literally, Theresia's everything to him, bro.
It was a vulnerable moment where a swordsman identity was thrown out the window, and all that was left was the voice of one single man. It was a desperate plea hoping to save the person he loved the most. Reinhardt's blade would continue through regardless, slashing through the imposter in a brilliant arc the anime portrayed nicely. Now, this is where we'd get to Theresia's backstory, but that's a topic I think I'll save for a separate video. To keep the focus on the battle happening now, Theresia's awakening was pretty much a time skip for her. 1 second her consciousness was fading while hearing Pandora, the next she's opening her eyes to see a much older version of the man she married.
So, I like that he said it like that. Dude, that is fucking wild.
And her consciousness was fading while hearing Pandora, the next she's opening her eyes to see a much older version of the man she married. She knew she didn't have much time left, but she was completely content spending it staring at the eyes in front of her. Reason being that she'd already said everything that needed to be said. If there was anyone who needed more time to think, then that would be Wilhelm, and the words needed to fulfill his promise.
Yeah, 15 years went by in a flash for her. Dude. What the fuck, man? Just fucking pain, bro. I can't, bro.
So Theresia was fully intent on listening to those words in silence, but with the way Wilhelm was struggling to get them out, she saw no choice but to step in and explain things for him. Wilhelm may never have been able to express himself with his words, but everything else made it more than clear just how devoted he was. That was the essence of the final moments the two would share together. Now, it wasn't only Wilhelm who would be affected by this, since with the entire Estrella family all being present, the final moments of their grandmother, mother, and wife had left its scars on all of them. It was an emotionally charged scene that clearly indicated the problems within the Estrella family weren't resolved yet. But yeah, that was it for the emotional battle between Sword Saint and Sword Demon.
Wow, man.
It wasn't anything as intense as the previous battles, but at the very least it resolves the storyline involving Wilhelm.
It wasn't more intense, but it was more emotional, I think. Right? I think the emotion aspect, I think that right there is what really hit that episode, why it was so good. Because like you had like the crazy fighting, right? The Garfield versus Kirk and shit, but like then with this fight it was just more emotional depth. It was more focused on the emotions and the feelings of everyone, right? The whole family aspect. I think it was more focused on that. So I liked it though. That was really good.
It was a plot I was invested in ever since the battle with the White Whale back in Season 1, and
Facts.
I'm glad to see it finally got the resolution it deserved. Let me know what you thought down in the...
Facts, man. I listen. Will, Theresia, like the entire, like, you know, Van Estrella stuff, right? That entire family stuff, it honestly shocks me how well it's been handled. Like, it's just actually such an interesting plot, bro. Like, ever since Will was, like, literally all the way back in Season 1 when Will was, like, introduced, right? And he, like, mentioned, like, his wife and all that for the first time. You know, y'all remember that shit when, with Subaru and Rem, like when he was on the yellow flowers and like and all that, bro. Like ever since he like mentioned that whole wife stuff, bro, and like the way that they've been building up to it, and we've like seeing like we've pretty much been seeing like everything been unfold as time went on, and it's just been an overall amazing story, bro. So yeah, man. Yeah, not even the main characters, and it still feels like MC story. Facts, exactly. That's the thing about it, bro. It was handled so fucking well, bro. That's gonna be it for today's AniNews cut content. If y'all enjoyed and you're new, subscribe, leave a like down below. The full uncut version to all ReZero content will be on Patreon. As always, have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time. See you guys.